2022, the wealthiest 1% of people globally owned nearly 46% of the world's wealth. Just understand that, 46%. While the bottom 50% held less than 1%. In the United States, between 1979 and 2019, the top 1% saw their income grow by over 240%, while the bottom 90% experienced only a 26% increase. Guys, you all seem like you're pro-capitalist here. I'm just going to say this outright. I'm an entrepreneur. I work in the capitalist system. I play by that rule. But just playing devil's advocate on this side for the next 4 minutes here. In a time when you can't afford groceries, you know that industries are being monopolized, media is being controlled by families at this point, or the government, I guess. But let's say families for this case. Look at the United States, Fox News, owned by a major family. In a time where you have so much control with just people like us who just are in bigger positions, how can you possibly tell me that you'd rather that over something else where it's a little bit more evenly distributed?
Go for it.
I was going to say, it comes down to having, I think what we were talking about earlier, having a blend of what is an essential human need, like healthcare, dental, all these sort of different things. We need to have some sort of a blend when it comes to that.
But then you're running a gray area there.
You are running a gray area there, but that's the thing with politics.
Is pharmacare essential in Canada? Is dental care essential?
Dental care, healthcare, for sure. I mean, obviously, healthcare in the
U.S.
US
$10 a day child care essential? Like, this is what I'm saying is it's such a gray area. How can you possibly say that everything's...
Maybe to answer this,
yeah,
I think capitalism puts you in a place as a person where you can actually strive for more.
Okay.
Whereas when it comes to communism, like, you're very...
You're capped. You're capped.
Yes,
you're
you're literally capped, but so are others.
Everybody.
But then, does that keep you going on a day-to-day basis as humans?
Okay, but what about a hybrid system where you don't have monopolization? Because my next question was like, Kirztyn, do you think that capitalism in some capacity has ruined our society? Because a lot of people would say that, a lot of our generation would say that.
But it's also funny because in the last decade, even though we've seen the wealthy become wealthier, we've also seen more individuals come from the working class and become wealthy. So there's also been an increase.
But we also have seen a significant amount of people become increasingly more homeless. And some would equate that to, well, there's too many landlords, or builders are charging too much, or this or that.
Yes, that's true. I definitely see the issue with capitalism, but at the same time, I also think that if we have the right policies in place, a lot of the time what our government does is have these policies that are very idealistic, but they don't look at the policy administration behind it. To actually administer these policies, you have to make it realistic. So that's the biggest issue I see with our government.
Oh, I see. Okay, so why all of a sudden did we choose? Not all of a sudden, but we kind of merged, especially in Canada. Now we have pharmacare, this and that. You've got kind of the tension between the Conservatives, the Liberals, and the NDPs. And the NDPs primarily playing a little bit more on the socialist side. Yeah. The Liberals playing what I think is actually should be middle. And then the Conservatives playing a little bit more on the heavy capitalist side. You've got this balance. Is that balance what actually keeps us sane? But is that balance failing?
The balance is failing right now.
To what side?
I think the balance is failing right now, based on the current state of the world, where Canada is at right now, we need to have more resources, but we also need to figure out a way to get the country out of debt, and we need to come up with a more affordable way to reinforce better policies for the middle class, people who maybe just come here.
Okay, so I guess, Aryan, what are your thoughts on that? Because I don't know.
No, I can tell you.
Yeah, go.
I feel Canada has to be bold. They have resources. I feel they have resources, but it's the way you use it, and are you using it or not?
We've taken a very middle grounded approach. Is this hybrid option what we need? We've got 5 seconds left.
I say the hybrid option is what we need.
Hybrid option is good. I think it's just how we allocate our expenditures. That's literally how it is.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about how we allocate.
And I will say, I'll close it off with this. That tension is what kind of keeps us sound. And I think we realize that. To me, it's mind-bending to think that the way our society runs here in North America was built by people like you and me. Capitalism is what we found to be the best, fairest, and most long-term solution, at least generally. Some of the greatest changes in history came from revolutions, like the French Revolution, which triggered the end of monarchies and the beginning of nationalism, which soon led to capitalism and nation states. My question to you, and where I'll leave the show off, is, are we headed for some sort of revolution in the near future? And if so, what will it be?